Now, you may be wondering, what is Block 36? Well, it is a glitched piston block that has been created from an end crystal explosion when lit on fire. And what you're looking at is the first ever made Block 36 in 1.16. Now, creating Block 36 in 1.16 is slightly different from creating it in 1.12. When placing the end crystal down, you have to place the piece of obsidian right underneath it, and then everything can continue as normal. By placing down the fire, there we go, and then when you place the piston down, you can activate this, and you successfully created Block 36 once you break these pistons right here. And it varies, it's very inconsistent as well, because sometimes it'll break a certain radius around, and sometimes it'll break more than others. Now, both variations can also be made in the same way. So you place your end crystal down, break the obsidian, place the fire, and then you activate it. And then you can see, very inconsistent from each side. This one's 4 corners, while this one's a triangle. But still, they come up with the same result. And the most efficient one is most definitely the one without the one that's not the sticky piston, because it only costs iron. Another thing about Block 32 is it cannot be created with a traditional TNT. I don't know the factor for this, but with testing, it does not work. I don't exactly know the reason why behind this it doesn't work, but it just doesn't work. I know it has to do something with the fire and the end crystal and how the explosion happens, but mainly that's it. Now, to show you that this can work in survival, I'm going to be doing an example of it. So what you'll need is you need 14 obsidian, 22 sticky pistons or pistons, 21 redstone blocks, 21 daylight sensors, flint and steel, preferably 2 end crystals just in case, an efficiency pickaxe, so you can mine obsidian, diamond or netherite, doesn't matter. Totem undying, you can definitely use this if you want to, it's just for safety, and then prot for armor. This is also optional. Now, once you have all those items, preferably I'm going to be using the regular old pistons, so once you have all those items, what you're going to do is you're going to place a row of 7 down, like this. And this is a good thing I had the pickaxe. But a row of 7 going up 3 blocks as well. And preferably, it's good to get some voting blocks just in case. Wait, just grab this real quick. There we go. And building blocks, really helps the process. Now that you have this down, what you're going to do is you're going to place the daylight sensors down first instead of the redstone blocks. And now you may be asking, why is that? Because whenever the redstone is placed down here without the daylight sensor, you can see that it's activated. But whenever the daylight sensor is in front of it, it doesn't activate. It's an unmovable block, which is good. After you place down all the daylight sensors, now you place the redstone blocks. This is so whenever the pistons get broken, they get pushed forward. And then after you do that, you're going to place down the obsidian. And also, whenever you're breaking the end crystal, I suggest going down 1 block so you don't, kill yourself. Just in case if you don't have a totem. Anyways, now that you have this here, what you're going to do is you're going to place your end crystal. You're going to get your flint and steel. You can use the already made blocks right here. Suggestion. And this last sticky piston is going to go up here upside down. Break your blocks, so then you can place the fire. Also, don't forget to break this block right here, so, it works. Anyways, now that you have this here, everything's all good to go. You place down your fire, and then you place down your redstone block right down here. Now that has happened, you'll see that you have created your Block 36. And now, you may be wondering, what can you do with Block 36? Well, I don't specifically know what you can do, but I know you can place item frames on it, and then, it's a bit weird with everything. You can place item frames on it, you can make an invisible house technically, but it's way too inconsistent for 1.16, and a better method needs to be found so this can actually be, made. Another weird property of Block 36 is whenever you place a block on it, you'll see that it disappears, same with the block. Which is strange. But also, whenever you're using item frames, it doesn't disappear. If you shift click on it, you can see the block gets placed, but Block 32 disappears. Now, there are many different properties with this. I'm a bit interested in what sand will do. So if I place sand on here, it floats. Look at that. you can create floating sand blocks with block 32, which is a strange property but very cool. And then if you don't place anything there, actually, so if I break this here, it's still, block 32 still exists, but it's it can't be interacted with, which is a very cool factor of it. So that means what you could do is you create invisible blocks for sand to be walked on, which is actually very cool. So you could create a sand bridge technically, if this becomes a plausible way of actually making, well, when there's a plausible way of making block 32 more efficient. And to note, block 32 always exists, apparently. So whenever I break this block right here, actually the sand will go right through it, never mind. But whenever you place it right there, where block 32 actually exists, it's still there. And if we place a block, you can't place a block in block 32, even if you're in the block 32. I mean, you can place a block in block 32, though. It's a bit funky. Block 32 is a weird block, as it is invisible, but it's also not invisible. Because if it can still interact with blocks, then it's a weird factor of being there and not being there. Now, I know there is a way to interact with it so that you can actually walk on it, but I don't specifically know how to do that. You'll probably have to find another tutorial on that. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching this far. I wasn't actually expecting you to get this far. I mean, it is kind of a long video for 6 minutes. I mean, it's not that long, but it's long enough that people wouldn't watch all the way through. Block 36, I would definitely say it's a weird, it's a weird block, but I mean, the properties of it are actually very interesting. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you want to, you can subscribe for more videos like this. This is Bench, and I'm out now. Lastly, I'd like to thank my brother for creating the music for this video. His channel is going to be linked in the description. Go check him out. He's still growing, so go check him out. He's a very cool music content creator, and he's done a bunch of shader stuff.